Costa Rica is one of those places you picture in your head. Wild jungles, crashing waves, colorful creatures. Why did we base ourselves in the capital city of San José? And was that a mistake? That question led to 2 day trips and one big lesson we didn't see coming. In this video, we'll share what surprised us, what we'd do differently next time, the unforgettable places we explored, and how much it all cost. I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way.
After spending time in South America, we needed a way to start making our way back toward the U.S. Flights weren't lining up quite the way we planned, so we decided to make a smaller hop first. Costa Rica sits in Central America between Nicaragua and Panama, bordered by the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. San José is the capital city, right in the middle of Costa Rica's Central Valley. We didn't realize at first how much of Costa Rica's magic lives outside the city. One of the best lessons we learned was that we could choose to be disappointed about our time here or find a way to make lemonade out of lemons. Watch our video below for more about lessons learned. We redeemed our time here with a couple of cool activities that absolutely captured the essence of the beauty of Costa Rica. So let's talk about where we stayed and why we wouldn't do it this way again. We picked a neighborhood called Barrio Escalante. On paper, it sounded perfect. Safe, walkable, full of indie cafes and artsy spots. Locals love it, and honestly, we get why. There's one restaurant we loved so much we went 3 times. We'll tell you more about that a bit later. But if you've been with us for a while, you know that we're usually drawn to places with more history, more soul. Escalante felt more like an upscale residential bubble. We prioritized safety, and in hindsight, I don't think we needed to. We probably would have connected more with downtown, somewhere near the National Theater or the Gold Museum. But honestly, even that would not have been quite right. What became clear pretty quickly was that the real charm of Costa Rica isn't in its capital, it's out in nature. We usually gravitate towards cities, but in Costa Rica, that instinct steered us a little off track. We'd also give the area a 2.5 out of 5 for mobility. Sidewalks were uneven in places, and there were lifted sections caused by tree roots. Curb access also was inconsistent. The main streets are more manageable, especially near restaurants and shops, but even those aren't always smooth. Have you ever found yourself in a city that just didn't land the way you thought it would? Let us know where and what you did about it. We visited in mid-February, which is dry season, summer, in Costa Rica. San José was a bit chilly for this time of year, but in the coastal areas, it was much warmer. It's more expensive because it's high season, but we were okay with that, especially since we'd been really cold in Peru right before this. We'd come back to San José just to eat at Groove Kitchen. Its Italian Mediterranean cuisine is some of the very best we've eaten outside of Italy. Owner Cheyenne has a bubbly personality and makes everyone feel like they're long-lost friends, and her love for vinyl records means that the background tunes are, shall we say, groovy.
We came here in Costa Rica with the 5 luggage full of vinyls. Wow. With no idea where to go, but with music. But with my music, with our music, very important.
That's fantastic.
Her partner, Ludovico, has a talent for making flavors that absolutely sing. While I tried all of Kevin's dishes, I couldn't stay away from the craveable flavors of their handmade ravioli with goat cheese and andouille sausage. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Many of the other places we tried, including some highly recommended spots, felt a little overpriced for what they offered. Some leaned towards more trendy than tasty, and a few seemed designed more for tourists than locals. But we liked Dulce Gelato for ice cream and Cafeoteca for a morning coffee and breakfast spot. Great coffee, peaceful setting, consistent service. It was a wonderful place to hang out, and plenty of locals were here as well. The museums and landmarks that interested us before we got here felt like the wrong way to spend our time. Since we couldn't cancel our accommodations and we didn't want to have too much time double booked somewhere else, we weren't sure what to do. The towns of Arenal and La Fortuna are popular, but they're a distance, and we had friends there who had just gotten over dealing with dengue fever. The new dengue fever vaccine isn't recommended for people 60 or over. Kevin's 62 and I'm 60, so we opted against exploring that area. We'd looked into doing a chocolate tasting in San Jose, but honestly, the idea of getting out into the countryside and spending time at a local cacao farm and deep diving into the bean to bar process sounded way more appealing. We needed cash for the bus tickets, but there's an ATM near the bus station. The currency here is Costa Rica colones. And we didn't mention it earlier, but most people don't need a visa to visit. American tourists can stay up to 180 days, but they may be required to show an onward ticket to their next destination. From San Jose, we took a bus first to Turrialba, then on to Jabillos. But Nordico Cacao Farm was exactly the kind of experience we were hoping for. Small, family-run, and focused on sustainability. If mobility is a concern, just a heads up, the road leading to the farm is a steep, uneven dirt path and not wheelchair accessible. Let them know in advance if you need a pickup from the bus stop. We give it a 2 out of 5 for accessibility. And we definitely recommend sturdy shoes.
So what do you think about the bus ride to get to Nortico?
Pretty uneventful. Being in San Jose, the weather has been, varying degrees all day long. And here, I definitely feel like overall, it's going to be a lot warmer than it is in San Jose.
Yeah, it feels like a valley. All right, we gotta get to our appointment, get some lunch.
So we ventured our way to Nortico Cacao Farm, and we did that because although in San Jose you can go to a factory and see cocoa being made, you're not seeing it from farm to bar, and that's what we're here to do today. Now we paid a little bit extra to also get lunch and then a whole chocolate experience, and we're really looking forward to it.
Good.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Kevin?
Judy and Kevin. Okay,
Yes.
a pleasure. Perfect. Yeah, it's
Yes.
a pleasure to have you here. So my name is Alex. I'm in charge of the operation of Nortico, and the owners of Nortico are inside, so they're gonna come say hi soon.
Awesome. Cacao has been grown in Costa Rica for thousands of years, and in rural and indigenous communities, it's more than just a crop. It's a part of the culture, and even seen as medicine. And as a chocoholic, I can attest to those medicinal properties, even if it's only medicine for the soul. We'd also arranged in advance to have lunch at the farm, a typical Costa Rican meal cooked by a local. Nothing fancy, just real food made with care. And you could taste the love in it and how much pride the chef had in our appreciation for the food.
This is a typical casado, right? It's rice and beans because Costa Ricans, we eat a lot of rice and beans.
Yes.
In the morning also you can hear something that we call gallo de pinto. It's rice and beans but together. So it's different, right? Rice and beans apart is for lunch, right? And usually something really, I don't know, like a funny fact. In the morning we use black beans for picadillo. For gallo pinto. And then in the lunch is the red beans. It's the way that we also do it, right? So yes, it's salad, picadillo, rice, beans, and the protein, right?
Yes, yes.
And I know, yes.
And this is corn, but it's mixed with...
It's corn with chayote, with carrot, with different vegetables. Yeah,
Okay.
It's picadillo. We call it picadillo. It's all together.
Wonderful.
Really, yeah, really nice.
After lunch, we got to spend time with the owners, Anne Ellen and Aldo. She's from Norway, that's the Nor in Nortico, and Aldo is Costa Rican, or Tico. Together, they're the heart of this farm. One of the things that made this visit feel so special is that we were the only ones there. It felt like we were meeting new friends for the first time. Anne Ellen and Aldo shared their story, how they met, how the farm came to be, and the practices they used to grow their award-winning cacao. Then came the tasting. We tried 5 different dark chocolates and learned how to really taste them. Slowly, no chewing, just letting the flavors unfold. Kevin said it reminded him a little of whiskey tasting in the way the flavors shift as you go. At first, it might taste a little bitter or earthy, but if you let it melt slowly, you start to notice things. Fruits, nuts, maybe even honey or spice. After that, Aldo took us out into the orchard. We walked under the trees, saw the different varieties, even harvested a flower.
You hear cracks, so you can open it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bash your hand.
Sorry, I'm moving it.
Yeah, this one is thicker, the shell, so yeah, I need to be a bit harder. Yeah, not easy, eh?
Not easy, no.
Oh,
I
you
heard
got
it. I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
You got it.
There we go.
Oh my!
Wonderful.
See that?
Holy cow. That's not what I expected.
So is that the cacao, the white?
Exactly. Well,
Yes.
the white part is the one we're gonna use in the fermentation. This is the mucilage, right?
Okay.
But the grains, yeah, it's the
That's
weird
pretty cool.
consistency. Yeah. I believe it's really good. What you're gonna do is to take one. So I'm gonna do the first one, and if I faint, just call the ambulance. No, you're gonna try to suck on it, and then you can spirit it up. Like this, you know. Don't worry, it looks
No,
weird,
it actually is
but
interesting.
it's really good.
It's actually really good.
It's actually really fruity, this one. And then the seeds, you can just throw it.
The seeds, you can throw it. So don't
I mean,
throw
enjoying
it.
if you eat it, it's actually a superfood, so don't worry.
Wow.
But it's hard to connect or not, chocolate with that fruit.
Yeah, it actually tastes. It's sour, a little bit bitter, but in a good way. Like it's sucking on lemonade, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that much sour.
Really?
I'm getting more like a grapey.
Yeah, and it's also many times we talk about mango, mangostan.
Yeah, mango. Yeah, definitely.
Also mangostan and lychee. Lychee
Oh,
is
yeah,
on that
yeah.
profile as a fruit as well, But it's really good, actually. We love it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was not at all what I was expecting.
Back in the processing area, we got a close-up look at fermentation, how the beans are scraped out, placed in bins, and left to ferment for about 5 to 7 days with natural yeast from the air. It gets hot, the beans are turned daily, and that's when the real chocolate flavor starts to develop. After that, they're dried on these platforms covered with screening so that they can be flipped and all sides can air dry. Then we got to try it ourselves. We cracked dried beans, used a hand crank to make cacao paste, and mixed in our own ingredients, cinnamon, coconut, sugar, to make our own little chocolate bars. They also have a shop on site where you can pick up more of their delicious chocolate. And yes, we definitely did. We knew we needed more than a day at the cacao farm to feel connected to Costa Rica, so we booked a full-day excursion to Manuel Antonio National Park. It's one of the most visited parks in the country. The park sits on the Pacific coast, and it's known for its incredible wildlife. We were picked up at 5:10 a.m. at a hotel near to our Airbnb by a comfortable bus. We needed to bring our passports with us, and we had to show them in order to get entry into the park. Our first stop was breakfast, a simple Costa Rican meal served roadside, followed by a visit to the fruit stand, where we grabbed some bottled water. Next came the crocodile bridge over the Rio Tarcoles, where we leaned over the edge and spotted huge crocodiles sunbathing below, some more than 18 feet long. We paused at Tarcoles Beach, where there are supposed to be scarlet macaws, but they were hiding the day we were there. We also had a short stop at the scenic lookout over Jaco, Costa Rica's most popular coastal town. It's one of the first big beach towns heading southwest from the capital. That was a very early morning, but that's when the animals are most active, out looking for food before the day gets too hot. Later arrivals usually miss the best wildlife moments. The tour wasn't cheap, but for us it was worth it. Entry slots to the park are limited each day, and booking the tour meant we didn't have to worry about availability or figure out transportation on our own. Although the ride from San José takes about 3 hours, it didn't feel long because there were some interesting stops along the way. We also liked that it included a certified guide for an hour-long walk through the forest. Inside the park, our guide carried his spotting scope, a type of telescope mounted on a tripod that allowed us to get closer views of the wildlife during an hour-long guided hike through the rainforest.
You can tell when there's something to see because everyone starts setting up their scopes. So the trick with Manuel Antonio is to have a good guide that knows how to spot things and talks to all the other guides because they're showing off a very tiny 4-centimeter bat that there's no way you'd see if you didn't know it was there. And apparently he talked to another guide, said it's over here, and then he sets up the viewer, which is a high-powered viewer. This camera can't get to it, even with the new 40mm lens. You really got to have the guys with the good equipment. So going alone probably isn't going to allow you to see very much in this park.
And while you can visit without a tour guide, there's so much you'll miss without a scope. It was even hard to see some of the larger animals at times without one, especially since some of the sloths and monkeys would turn away from tourists, so you'd only be able to see their backs. Apparently they were shy. During our walk, we saw white-faced capuchin monkeys, sloths, iguanas, various birds, Halloween crabs, bats, and more. We were warned to hold on tightly to our stuff because the monkeys have been known to steal things that aren't attended. We give the park a mobility rating of 3.5 out of 5.
So our guide took us through the more nature route without the paved paths like this, which he said would give us better access to seeing the animals and creatures that he could find. This is if you have mobility issues or just want a flat surface that's more stable to walk on. We're heading out, but this could have been our whole path through the actual park.
You can reach Playa Manuel Antonio without tackling stairs if you stay on the accessible route. But there are a lot of areas you won't be able to access because of stairs and a lack of paved pathways. After our tour, we had time to slow down and wander the park on our own. I dipped my toes in the water, but our guide had recommended that we take the Sendero Trail, which we recommend. Fair warning that it has a lot of stairs to navigate, but the views are worth it.
More stairs than we're advertising in the beginning. That's fine.
Well, we've definitely seen our share of lizards. Hi, guy. How's it going, man? Is that a good snack?
He's shy. He's checking out the people behind. Who's got the bags? Are you one of the mafia members we heard about? Take stuff out of bags. Good shot. There you go.
We met up with everyone at a hillside restaurant just outside the park gates with views out over the jungle and ocean. After our late lunch, we had a final stop where you could use a restroom, get an ice cream, or do some souvenir shopping. We didn't expect to feel so moved by the natural side of Costa Rica, but that's the part we'll come back for. So which one would you choose? Chocolate in the countryside or wildlife at the beach? Or both? Let us know which experience speaks to you more. Looking back, we wouldn't base ourselves in San Jose again. But if we hadn't, we might have missed these two very cool excursions that really made our time in Costa Rica special. And here's the thing, even when you know your travel style, what lights you up, what doesn't, you can still land somewhere and think, yeah, this isn't working. And while we know travel rarely goes exactly as planned, we found that when we stay open, stay flexible, and get a little creative, that's when things start to surprise us, in the best way. So what did we pay for 14 days in Costa Rica? We flew from Lima, Peru to San Jose for $299, which includes $29 for seat assignments. Our Airbnb in Barrio Escalante was $606 or $43 per night. We got around with Ubers and also took a round-trip bus to Turrialba, and those cost us a total of $53. We spent $764 for dining out and $201 for groceries for a total of $965, which is $483 per person or $34 per person per day. Our tours were pricey but well worth it, especially as a way to redeem our time here. Those cost $513 or $257 per person. So our total spending was $2,436. Minus the cost of traveling to Costa Rica, our cost for 14 days here was $2,137, which breaks down to $1,069 per person or $153 per day and $76 per person per day. Thank you so much for joining us in Costa Rica. If you haven't already subscribed, we'd love for you to do that. It really helps us. And the best compliment you can give to us is to share our videos with your friends and family.
And check out findinggmarie.com, where we have articles, downloads, our free community forum, and you can check out our behind-the-scenes benefits for our Gelato members.
Until next time.
Until next time.